All right, we back. Powerhouse Conversations. We back for another episode. We got some good stuff coming up. So we're gonna let everybody get in. Let's get Tiora in. Make sure everybody. Definitely gonna have a good episode today. Got a lot of announcements. Let's see. Today we have Brand Elite Studios coming on. We're gonna talk about sports marketing. As some of you may know, Powerhouse Conversations is being brought under the Dream Big sports brand, and is going to be utilized to talk about people in the sports professional world and bring on some dope entrepreneurs that can have some dope conversations about how to get in the industry, some of the things that's going on in the industry, some of the trends that's going on in the industry. Dream Big Sports will help the digital transformation of a lot of sports organizations and helping them build their brands and grow it. So this is a good episode to kick it off with Tiora. So let's make sure we are able to get her in. Looks like she just joined. Hey.
Hey, how you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. So again, it's an episode of Powerhouse Conversations, where we bring on entrepreneurs and people in the sports industry to talk about their journey, talk about how some of the things that are going on in the sports world, and how we can help you grow your brand and you utilize technology to do so. So can you introduce yourself and talk to them a little bit about what you do in your brand?
Okay. My name is Tiora, and I am from Virginia Beach, Virginia. And I have a company called Brand Elite Studios, and we basically do like digital marketing and branding for pretty much the sports market. We do graphic design, signage, flyers, posters, banners, ads, whatever, basically.
Yeah.
I got into my business, or just graphic design in general?
Well, we can start with graphic design in general, and then we can move on to your business.
I got into graphic design when I was in high school, and basically just like dabbling into programs, not really knowing what I was doing, but just tried to figure it out. And then from there, I went to college, and I majored in there. I went to Virginia State University, and graduated from there with a BFA in fine arts and graphics, and ended up worked at Virginia State for 2 years. 2 to 3 years, I think. I can't remember. And then I went to grad school at MICA, Maryland Institute College of Arts. And at MICA, I basically just primarily just zoned in on my graphic skills for 9 months. And which was, I think that's when my skill level of graphics went from literally a 5 to probably a 20.
Right.
And from there, after that, I worked at ODU for 2 years in the sports department doing graphic design. And then I just realized I wanted to do my own thing. I worked at Under Armour as well for a little while. And at Under Armour, I did graphic design for the retail team.
Right.
And after all of that, and I was at MICA at the time. So I was in school and doing Under Armour, which was pretty tough.
Right.
So after all of that, it left MICA, whatever the case. I mean, not left, graduated from MICA. Then when I left Baltimore, I ended up working at ODU for 2 years. And then I just decided I wanted to be an entrepreneur. And Brand Elite started while I was working at Old Dominion, just basically like just coming up with like a process of showing like what I wanted to do, my logos, things I wanted to touch on, because I'm a freak. Understanding the look and the aesthetic that is needed to grasp people's attention and the audience attention to excite them.
Right.
My brand was based off of just me in general. I came up with my brand specifically. Brand Elite is like I wanted to stand out. Basically, my style of design.
Yeah.
It gives me not a lot, but it could be very experimental. It could be
Right.
very vibrant, but it also could be very settling.
Right.
So these a lot of different markets. I started in Grassroots market because that's where I started my basketball career, which is in AAU.
Right.
Now it's a lot of money in AAU
Right.
Grassroots.
Right.
So, but of course I get some athletes that I do some work for. I mean, period. Little small projects. Work with different sports agents before. I did sports camps a lot, grassroots teams, a lot of even some EYBL teams and some teams outside of that. But yeah.
Yeah. So I want to stay there with the grassroots because I know you kind of touched on it with how fast it's growing, right?
Yeah.
I think how do you bring out the brand of a young, like high school player, like, right? Because when most of the time people are thinking of brands later on in their life, but to be able to do that and touch them at a young age, like what's your thought process behind that?
That's so funny. It's just like I would do a little research. I basically will research that player a little bit. Them look at their Instagram. If it gets to the point I'm looking at, if their parents is socially active, I look at read about them a little bit.
Yep.
Get an idea of who I may think that they are. Not and then maybe have a conversation with them. And I go from there and I basically build on that. But it's just me just getting a vibe. You know what I mean? That who and having those conversations where it's like everybody's different, but it could be something in their logo that can stick out that maybe we can explain later on, or maybe and I will know, or some other people. But when people ask, we can explain it, and they'll be like, "Oh, okay, we understand."
Gotcha.
So, like for example, one of the athletes I did their logos, and he's more of a linebacker. So, and I was around his family a lot. So he played for the Falcons at the time. So of course the colors were red and black. I made the logo very masculine, very like built, like leaned over, because linebackers, they're down, they're yeah.
Right.
So that's where I got my inspiration from, his logo. You see what I'm saying? Young players, it's just seeing how they interact and seeing what they like and seeing maybe as far as the music they like. I don't know. I just got to get the energy.
Yep. No, that makes sense. So were you thinking about your brand? Because you said you were a former athlete. Were you thinking about your brand that young, or like was this something that came later on?
It's something that came later on.
Okay.
Yeah, something that came later on because I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't too sure, but I knew, because back then I've always been in design, but I did like a clothing line.
Gotcha.
So that was in 2014, 2013. And it was just something I just came up with, was doing, but I was making money from it in college. And then I think when it got to my career, I was like, yo, I can easily get graphics work is what I've been doing. So, basically, built my own thing, Brand Elite. And I came up with something like that is because, the Elite is always on top and you need a brand. And as well as I use them as brackets, most of the time, bracket is not to me, nobody stands in a bracket. We're always above. So that's why I use like part of a bracket and then the circle for the B.
Gotcha.
Was right here on the hat, as you can see.
Yeah.
But that's why I came up with that. So yeah, I just kind of come up with it when I'm like thinking, I'm feeling like it. I kind of know. The good thing about me is I'm able to design and able to put it on a computer at any time because I'm a graphic.
Right. So when thoughts come to your head, you're always kind of like putting it on. It's almost like I think like rapper or hip hop artist. You're when thoughts come to your head, you kind of putting it, instead of putting the pen on paper, you're going out and expressing it through your design.
Yeah, basically. I don't really draw. I can't draw. Not even gonna lie to people. They'll say, "Oh no, I can't." It really comes from, because I feel like drawing or writing it down slows my process. If it goes from my head to the computer, it's quicker. I know what to do immediately. Some people doing certain programs, they don't know all the programs or they don't use them correctly. So they can tell from here to, the computer sense and be able to get what they want, but I know how to actually do that. So I've never been the type to write it down on paper,
Right.
but not much.
Right.
More so in my phone rather than paper, paper and pen,
Right.
or just picture taking. I'm very visual.
Right. No, that's definitely good that you're able to just basically like anything that's in your mind, just get it out and express yourself through it.
Yeah.
One of the things I did want to talk to you about is just with you being a woman athlete, like the trajectory of women in sports. Like, what are your thoughts on that? How do you see it going?
I do hope they get paid more.
All right.
Because they put in the same amount of practice hours, game hours as anybody else. I just think it should be equal.
Yeah.
It's also in the sports industry, period, in the world, period, is hard for women.
Right.
A lot of my clientele is male, but a lot of my competition is male.
Right.
And at times it could be hard, and at times it could be very easy.
Right.
I also think that we could take advantage.
Have you seen that impact you, like where you being a woman has affected you getting certain opportunities in graphic design?
No, but I'm very like, if I want something, I'm gonna go get it. So I'm gonna try to see, okay, so what do I need to do if I can't do this? So if you tell me this, what can I do with this?
Right.
I think people, a lot of times they assume women to be very timid, but I'm very alpha.
Right.
Even when it comes in business, I try to be not too much, but just enough to get my point across and ask, like, okay, so if I can't do this, when can I do this?
Right.
So
being assertive.
Ran across it. I feel like I've been, as a woman in the sports, I feel like I've been like, had a lot of opportunity.
Yeah.
I do. I don't know. Yeah, I haven't had a big issue. Like, all of my male clientele are cool, very respectable.
Yep.
I had a couple of, incidents, but maybe two, not too many on one hand. But mind you, I've been doing this over 10 to 15 years, but I've been an entrepreneur since 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and like you just said, like you demanding like a certain level of respect, and that's gonna come with it, right? Because if you people will treat you how you allow them to treat you.
Yeah.
So if you,
confident, like, don't be as they think women to be timid, like off rip. I think that's what men just, I'm guessing,
assume. Yeah.
But yeah. So when you just really straight to the point and tell them what you want, or how this can be done, I think you'll be fine. But it is those people that are a little bit higher that still tend to, don't take it seriously.
Right. And so what would you say to a young like female athlete that is looking to brand themselves?
Put yourself first. Looking to brand yourself just in general, or they're in sports?
In sports.
Put yourself first. Yeah. Put yourself first. Sports is a business. It's a big business. They're worried about themselves. They're not worried about you as a player at all times. So I think they should take advantage of the opportunities that they do get in college, even if it's just people.
Right.
I also think that they should take advantage of, where they go. Like, even if it's thinking of starting a business, I'm not saying your plan B is not going to always work, but come up with your plan B. I mean, not saying your plan A is not going to work.
Right.
Come up with just in case. You said, I'm like, chime into what your craft is or what you like to do. It's so many ways of making money. It's just about going out there and getting it.
Right. And I think like girls are naturally good at social media, right? Like, because I have daughters, right? So like girls are just naturally good at social media. So like women, like them being in sports, like they can take advantage of that branding opportunity while they're doing it. But also, like you said, looking at it as a business and then figuring out how to generate revenue off that.
Yeah.
And so with the NIL, all those NIL deals coming about, and like that coming a thing in NCAA sports, have you had any opportunities to work with anybody who's working on some NIL stuff?
Yes, they asked about a lot of logo work.
Okay.
Of course. But now I'm setting up a package. I know I should have did it a little early, but I've been swamped busy just doing it. But I'm setting up a package for a juniors package. Basically, it's for the kids of NIL and a bit more of affordable.
Right.
Affordable, but for kids that are younger, high school coming up, middle school coming up, I have to
Right.
call Brandon,
Right.
and basically we offer those type of services just for them. So to be able to,
Right.
get the logo made, have these social media graphics produced, and just whatever more that you have in mind.
Gotcha.
To
Gotcha.
have to start from somewhere rather than nothing.
Right. And so like basically like a media package for them that they can like kind of give the either prospective business or like a recruit, I mean a coach or things of that nature.
To start to show their presence on social media at
Mhm.
a more pleasing aesthetic. So just me, like something that will grab people's attention, because they may already have photos, they may already have a videographer. Now they want
Mhm.
to be able to produce on to show their stats, to show
Right.
where they're from, to show what camps they're going to be doing. Because now we can do camps. Now they
Right.
can do camps, to show who's endorsing them.
Right. No, that makes sense, and that is especially like because again, being a parent, like I definitely understand
Yeah,
that you're working with people that are going to be limited with funds, but then that you're giving them the opportunity to have that. Like I said, of course, you're not looking to be quote unquote affordable because like you said, you're elite and you have a business to run, but something that can work with them to be able to monetize their brand as well. So that's
yeah.
dope.
And their logo is their face.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? You want something that's it's like an investment. It's a
Yeah.
small investment that needs to be made, because it could be used now or later. It
Right.
just,
Right.
um, but yeah, that's it. It's important.
Yeah. And so do you, just with you working with grassroots and everything of that nature, like have you seen the difference in the athletes that have parents that invest in them versus the ones that that don't necessarily take their brand serious?
What's the question again?
Like basically, have you seen like the ones that have been able to take their brand serious, like to go on and get ranked and all these other things, versus the ones that don't take their brand serious? Like,
Um,
have they struggled more?
no, it's not a difference. I think some parents come to me, they have more, they want to invest in their kid, but I honestly tell them, like, if your kid is like, I'm all for doing y'all the graphics. I'm not turning away business.
Right,
But with this investment, make sure your child is serious.
right,
Because you can put down $1,000 and they might not want to pay next year.
right,
So just kind of be smart about like the athletic ability, their skills, like where they want to go, if they want to go into it. A lot of coaches come to me for their kids.
gotcha.
So, and it'd be coaches or their parents. It just depends.
Yeah,
Um, they have faith. There might be 3 players that need this, or 2 players that need this, or I'm gonna connect you with their parents because they're interested in this.
right,
And so it goes. It's not really a good or bad. I just let them know before.
right. Kind of transparent with
Yeah,
what you've seen in the
I really
past.
don't have to do that, but I do it anyway, just to let.
Right, because you could just take the you could just take the money because money is money, right?
Yeah, and keep it going.
Right. But that's no, that's definitely good that you're transparent with them and letting them know what's what. The other question I would have for you is what are some of the things that you like? I'm big on HBCUs. Like what is I know you worked with some in the past. What are some of the things that you have seen them be able to do like to help with their brand?
So you're asking, what do I think they should do to help their
Yeah,
brand?
like how can they improve like their branding? Because I know that like most of the time when I talk to HBCUs, like they're always talking about their short staff, right? They have limited resources, they have limited funds. So what are some of the things that they can do to help with their digital marketing?
Um, Pull the money from somewhere, because ain't nobody doing it for free.
Right.
I've worked at a HBCU. They got
Yeah.
money. They just sometimes they don't feel like it's
Worth it.
no or important. But I mean, your look on Instagram is what have them recruits that want to come to the college. So
Right. Right.
I don't have like I did stuff for Virginia State, very small, very little.
Yeah.
I uh Norfolk State for about a couple of years, probably about 3 to 4 years. That's one of the first colleges that gave me my contract for my HBCU was Norfolk State University.
Okay.
And then I just went up from there. But I don't know what to say about these HBCUs. I love it, but it's just like they have to invest in
They
smart.
yeah.
Yeah, like nobody feels bad. Like just get the money.
Yeah,
Like getting the money, they're finding ways to get money. They have to get the money.
right.
Yeah.
And so, do you think it's just that they don't want to invest in the sports department, or is it just that they're just funded? I mean, they're not putting the funds into the things that they should.
It could be that both, but I know them athletes is bringing in money.
Right.
The athletes are bringing in money.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just don't, they find better places other places to put it.
Gotcha.
But
Gotcha.
that's them, I just,
Yeah.
I went to Shaw University as well.
You said what? You said Shaw.
Shaw University, yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Pretty cool, yeah. Um, but yeah, I think those are and what's Albany State? Is that a HBCU?
Yeah.
Albany State. I've worked with them. But I've gotten different results from non-HBCU.
Gotcha. And
Yeah.
is that just because of the intentionality of investing?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't. I'm not even gonna say I don't know. Yeah, I can't. I don't know. I don't know. I would love to work with like all HBCUs. Like I feel like it's so many Black designers out there that they can collab with or do stuff with.
Right.
But I don't know what they be. I don't know what they be thinking. It's like a lot. It's a good amount of like not a lot. I know a couple of Black designers. It's just like they just
Don't want to. Yeah. Hold up. I think we froze. Are you back?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you see me?
Okay. Yeah, I can see you now. I think you have froze. But what were you saying?
No, I don't know what to say about HBCU. I just think that they find the money, a budget to invest in, and it's
Yeah.
a lot of designers out here.
Yeah. No, I got you. What I know we're coming up on our time, but what I will ask is, what do you see as far as like the trends coming up that you think will help just in general with branding for athletes?
Uh, what do you mean by trends?
Like just what
Because
what
their own thing.
what do you say?
I said, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
I said everybody. I don't know what you mean by trends because I feel like everybody now do their own thing.
Right.
So it could be like, what do you mean by trends that's coming up on athletes? Because
As far as like digital marketing, like some of the things, because I know like when I look at your like some of the things that you do for athletes, right? So like the stats, the way that you brand them, is that something that is like is normal in the graphic design world? Is that something that you kind of like uh kind of started and kind of pushing it out there a little bit more?
I just do my own thing.
Yeah.
I don't even watch the trends or pay attention. I just know the level of quality I have to have.
Right.
Hopefully quality stays as where it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
A trend that I do see happening is everybody's getting into graphic design now, but their quality not where it should be.
And that's what I was gonna say because like you said, people are hopping in, but you just think about like all the years that you invested in,
Yeah,
like just thinking about your journey, right? Like you
yeah,
said, you started very young, and then you've been doing it for this long, but then people are just hopping in, and maybe doing, I don't know, Canva graphic design or whatever. But like you've really invested the time, you invested the time in learning your craft, and then
yeah.
there's people that's just jumping in.
Yeah, Canva's not graphic design.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. Like people are pitching that and selling different things like that, and
Yeah,
like you're like really invested in it. And
yeah,
you have people that are on Instagram trying to sell, hey, I do this, but they're doing it any kind of way.
yeah. I see. I don't even know what to say to those people. I just wish them luck, and I don't know. I just it's a trend now. Like everybody's doing photography, videography, graphic design, and I just be like, I don't know. We'll see how long this lasts.
Yeah. But
Um, because it's a serious field.
Right.
It's a time consuming. It's a very serious field. Like, somebody might ask me, what do they like? A lot of people ask me, what do they think? And I don't know. I'm not the person to, because I know how I got critiqued.
Right.
So, if you've been trained like every day for 9
Right.
straight on being seriously critiqued, it's hard for you to just give somebody just the bare minimum answer.
Right.
So I decided to say, I don't know.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how, I don't know. I don't try to give too much critiquing. So unless it's just like somebody that's doing stuff for me,
Right.
because I have obviously my brand, it has to look a certain way.
Right. Now,
Yeah.
so do you have a team that you work with, or is it just you?
I contract a couple people out.
Okay. Okay.
I do. I contract a couple people out, but I am expanding. I am bringing on like 2 interns.
Gotcha.
It's getting pretty crazy.
Because I was about to say, like, the way you're talking about your workload, I was like, that would be a lot for just you to.
But I'm on this by myself for 4 years.
Gotcha.
So everything is is my work.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
But it's like I'm learning now the importance of, expanding internship. I just have to be, I don't know, my mind, I had to be ready. Because, now you would have to do more showing than designing.
Right. And so is that something that you that you're mindful of is like, because you were just talking about like critiquing, right? So if you bring on new people or interns or things of that nature, like you're going to have to do more of
Critiquing, I said it,
critiquing because it's your brand, right?
of course. I said if it's in my brand, I'm going to critique for sure.
Yeah.
Because I already have clients, like if you get some other people, because I kind of let them know, hey, I may not be doing this. I may, blah, blah. And they're like, well, we need you to do it. We'll pay you to do it.
Right.
Like, I can't do everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's an interesting, I'm glad I got into this field when I started it.
Right.
But it's really hard. But it gets easier when you get,
No, because like you said, your work is going to stand out above the rest because you actually have put in the work and know what you're doing.
Yeah. I don't use templates like that at all. Everything is done from scratch.
Oh, really?
I would hope so.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
no, because I've like when I've gotten work done from like other people, like I've had people that they just use a template and you know.
Nah, I don't do that. I
Yeah.
just, everything is whiteboard scratch and I come up and put it like I thought that's how it goes. See, that's why I said Canva is not a graphic designer.
Yeah. No, that's definitely like I said, you I guess you'll be surprised how how other graphic designers work and the type of things that you deal with with their work.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't do that. Sorry.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
no, I know we're coming up at the end, but like, so, is there anything that you would like to kind of talk about that we didn't talk about?
Um, I don't know. I mean, is there any other questions that you want to
Yeah.
ask?
I mean, the main thing would be like, just what's in the future for you? Like, what's in the future for Brand Lee Studios? What's your goals? Like,
It's crazy because I'm at my dream job. I think my goals would be to expand more.
mm-hmm.
That's one of my goals, and I want to get more. Well, I am now, but I mean, it's getting there. But I want to get more. Oh, he said I feel as tell him not to do it on camera. Yeah, on camera.
AJ, leave Campbell alone.
Exactly. Graphic designer though, it's okay. So goals. I just want to get just add more divisions in my company.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like 2 more. And sports is the foundation. So I want to level up that way.
Gotcha. So like just going outside of sports.
I don't want to promote that right now, but man, yeah,
Gotcha.
I wouldn't mind it because that's easy. That's what I started off actually doing is outside of sports, and then I was like, I'm not into this. Like boring. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you didn't have the passion or the desire for it.
No, but I think now, sorry, I'm reading what they wrote.
Yeah, I saw something
Oh,
coming.
oh, you started your crystal. Yeah, have you thought about creating workshops for the youth? Tending up maybe. Yes, I have. Okay, thank you. I wouldn't mind. I've never thought of that.
Okay.
I do have like what is it called? Well, people they normally if they have questions about their brand and stuff,
Hmm.
then they'll just what is it called? Oh, I can't think of it right now.
Um,
You know when people do a one-on-one with you? Basically it's a one-on-one.
yeah, like a consultation.
Yeah, basically. I don't
Yeah,
want to call it a conversation. It's a one-on-one on Zoom and we talk for an hour.
gotcha.
And we just basically just, they want to talk about I don't call it consultation. I get more in, you know what I mean? I get more in depth. Like I give information,
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
Yeah, they're basically, I have those small services when I have time. I set an hour or two aside and then I literally will talk to people about their brand and they just ask me questions and whatever they want to know.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
Gotcha. What is that? Mentor.
He asked about coaching and mentoring.
Yeah.
Coaching where? Basketball? Or just
Yeah.
coaching graphic design?
Yeah, I guess you were saying coaching for the graphic design.
Whoa. I don't know. I wonder, should I try?
No, definitely.
I talked to girls in the organization. I went to community things a couple of times. I'm not even I want to make more time for the community, like meaning like talking to young girls.
Mhm.
I guess I would have to just align with the right people
Gotcha.
and just come up with some time because I have a lot of events during the weekends and summer times are my craziest.
I was about
AAU.
to say you about to ramp up now because A.
I started in February, so
Okay, yeah, because AAU starting up.
yeah. So it's like I'm already booked until August for just yeah.
Gotcha. So when so when like, because I know you do signage or whatever. So like you're going up, you're going in, setting it up and everything.
Yeah. I learned all that from school.
Cool.
Grad school, they showed me everything, all of these things that I'm doing. Like they showed me all of that. The secret is a matter of like just promoting your stuff and showing your process. People love process
Right.
because they're trying to figure out like how did you go from here to here.
Right.
I don't give you deep down details, but
Right.
I'll show you. I designed it on a computer. I took it to the print shop. I sent it to the print shop. Took it to the print shop. Picked it up. And then I showed them how I basically like put it together. But on side of that, I have to design it. I have to do all this stuff to make sure it's correct, get the dimensions, go to measure it. Um, basically make sure the design is what they want. Go back and forth with the client. Those are other stuff that's in the process that I don't really show.
Right.
But it's a lot. It's a lot. But it's becoming my biggest service right now, meaning people are wanting that a lot. But I tell them like make sure they have a budget aside for that because I just started that. I've been knew how to do it. I just never
Right.
really got into it heavy until last summer. Quarantine was my best year.
Gotcha. So talk to me about quarantine because I know like you when and entrepreneurs like either they had the best year of their life or it went bad. So like with you, you said that was your best year. Like where people because you would think that people like their budgets are kind of thin in some aspects, but like how did that happen for you?
It was the best year of my life.
Yeah.
From quarantine on up. One, it was just the mental part of yeah. The mental part was great for me. I was able to like dive in more on my foundation.
Hmm.
I wouldn't say work was slow. It was like cool, like a nice steady pace.
Yeah.
Cause to actually go back into what I was doing, but I also received a lot of jobs during that time as well too. Digital because you got to think about it. Everybody's doing digital. So
Right.
graphics, their logos, they're going to need things that they could promote on their Instagram and
Right.
start how people want to start their business
Right.
and to like get going on what they want to do because people were losing jobs.
Right. Right.
So it was one of the best years, I would say. I didn't get a PPP, I didn't get a PPP loan. I didn't get none of that. I just
Right.
put it out. Like it felt like that year let me know that, okay, I'm in the right field.
Right. Actually, yeah, because if you really think about it, like you said, you're at home, you're in front of your computer.
Yeah,
Everybody else is in front of their computer. They're trying to figure it out, and to figure it out, they need your type of services. So
yeah.
definitely.
I did services where they can literally, I have more time to like talk to people. So they would like Zoom me
Hmm.
or like, I forgot the name. I gave it a name and I was promoting it a lot, but basically they'll, pay me a certain amount for an hour and
Hmm.
then them and then they'll go away with, knowing certain things, where to get their stuff printed from, where to do certain things on graphic design, how am I starting my brand, how I'm doing this, how I'm doing that, like different things like that. So it was kind of a good thing. And I was able to get into it with like talking to kids on Zoom calls and meaning like to, try to figure out more about their brand or just talk about their career. So to me, it was a like good time
Right.
doing things that I normally don't do, but I was just doing it around that time. But I wouldn't mind keep doing it. Now I'm a little bit more busier.
Busy. Yeah. Okay. Well, no, I definitely appreciate you coming on and talking about your brand. Everybody, make sure y'all follow her, Brand Elite Studios. Do you have anything that you want to promote or anything before we get off?
I don't have anything I want to promote. I mean, just follow me. Follow the process, follow the journey.
Yeah.
Because it's only can get better from here. So
No,
yeah.
definitely. I appreciate you. Dope conversation and like keep going. I definitely will be reaching out to you about some services though. So I'll hit you up.
Okay.
All right. Thanks.